What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new 2026 Toyota Rav4. Now this one is the plug-in hybrid version. It's an SE trim level, finish off in ice cap. MSRP is $45,500. Big shout out to Flow Toyota of Statesville for providing the new plug-in hybrid Rav4 for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked below. Let's get right into America's best-selling SUV, the all-new style with, of course, the plug-in. Taking a look at some of the specifications for the plug-in hybrid Rav4. This is going to feature a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine with that full plug-in hybrid system. Now net horsepower is going to be 324. The actual engine makes 183 horsepower and 172 pound-feet of torque. Overall, you're going to expect around 50 miles of pure electric driving. Got a 22.7 kilowatt-hour battery. Overall, MPG is close to 41 miles per gallon. Range is going to be well over 660 miles. This is also going to be all-wheel drive with an eCVT for the transmission. Curb weight is 4,400 pounds, and then max payload capacity is 1,300 pounds. The overall length is 182.9 inches with a wheelbase at 105.9. Width is 73 and height is 66.3 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling with the all-new 2026 Rav4. For the plug-in hybrid, the charge port on that passenger side is the only thing really indicating you that this is the plug-in. For the headlights, you have this nice LED design with silver trim and then just a basic turn signal bulb. You're going to see the gloss black trim piece. You get a nice Toyota badge as well. There's some dark trim pieces in this body color grille, forward-facing parking sensors, and then there's gloss black trim on the side, and then all gloss black in the lower splitter area. So it has a nice finished style for the SE trim. It's very sporty looking for being more of a base model, but definitely looks great in the ice cap. You have some sharp body lines throughout the hood, cutting towards that windshield. Of course, with the charge port right here, you can see that. Very nice and easy and convenient. You're gonna get a nice looking set of 18-inch wheels, finished off in the gloss black color. And then we have the painted gloss black fender arches. Got a nice style to them. All gloss black for this lower area, and then a really sharp body line cutting all the way up towards the rear end. You got body colored door handles, gloss black mirror caps, an integrated turn signal, and then all black trim throughout the windows. I like the roof rails finished in the black, and then that nice trim piece in back. For the side profile, it's actually pretty similar to the previous generation Rav4. Has a really nice style to it with the sharp lines and good angles, really good profile and nice proportions. And then I really like this LED taillight that connects all the way from one side to the other. You got the Rav4 name, Toyota badge, an integrated spoiler up above, and then all of your badging, and then some silver trim down below. Got the plug-in logo, all-wheel drive, parking sensors, and a backup camera, of course. Just a really good looking style on this SUV. For the key fob, typical Toyota key fob, lock, unlock, power tailgate, says Rav4 on the backside. If I go ahead and lock the car, you can just go right up to it, grabbing the door handle, it'll unlock. We can check out the SE's interior. For the door panel, you're gonna get some harder plastic for this trim, and then just a more basic vinyl throughout the center, as well as the armrest. It's all padded. We have your release handle, your basic controls, a nice grab handle here with a lot of hidden storage, and then storage down below. You're gonna see nice design with Rav4 integrated onto those floor mats, and then power controls up front as well. We just have a basic fabric interior with blue stitching. You got the nice style throughout the center. So again, for more of a basic interior, it's still nicely done. We have a 3-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel with some dark trim. And then now inside the 2026 Rav4 plug-in, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and power it on. All your screens will turn on. You got the Toyota badge, controls on the left side for the screen, volume, cruise controls all on the right. Stock on the right side for windshield wipers, headlights and turn signals over on the left. Now for the screen, just like most of your Toyotas, you just have a simple layout and you can go left and right and have a couple different preset designs. So pretty simple and nice overall. Navigation can pop up once set up as well. So pretty nice setup. Down below we have interior lighting, tailgate release, hood release, and gas cap. More of this padded vinyl material with some of this nice satin gray trim. More of a flat dashboard with some harder plastics and some trim design. Just a very unique style overall. And then we have more storage right there. We have the padded vinyl material, harder plastic, and then this nice satin plastic. Now for the screen, this is the smaller screen available. Honestly, you still have pretty much all the same information. There's some good info right here for the plug-in system, more settings. It's all adjustable. Then we have all sorts of different good drive modes. You also have navigation once set up, full screen. We have audio, phone, and then I like this one with some information on the charging. So we have the charge limit, charge in the battery. You can see all of that information. So just a nice layout to really understand how the vehicle is running. You also have several different settings that you would expect. Drive recorder is going to be built into these. It'll use whatever cameras are on the vehicle. And then climate control is integrated down below, and it's actually really easy to operate. So super simple, everything is always readily available, touch screen, heated seats and steering wheel, and then easily do your temperature. We also have temperature right here. So overall, pretty simple setup. In reverse, you have a pretty nice backup camera. We have a couple different designs to it, and then the guidelines as well. And underneath that, we have the defrost, volume, your vents, and all of your drive modes. Now right here, we have the EV and hybrid. Depending on the battery, you can of course go into full electric drive mode. We have 6 miles in the range currently, which will at least still give us all the power. Over here, we also have our actual drive mode toggle. So if you don't want to use the touchscreen, you can just toggle all that. Over here, we have a shortcut to just go right into normal mode, and then we have 2 off-road ones like trail and snow. So pretty nice to see just all the tech and everything. There's going to be a ton of space right here. There's extra hidden space all underneath. We have some plugs, downhill assist, traction control, and then cup holders as well with a removable section. We have the park and brake, nice shifter design, more of this satin gray trim, and then plenty of storage underneath with padding on one side, and then of course you can flip this around and use this as a storage area. You have, once again, another look at the seats, just a basic fabric with the blue, and then up above, just a simple headliner finished in black. We have a very small sunglass holder for maybe like some reading glasses, dome lights, and then a basic simple mirror. Moving on to the back seats now with the RAV4, grabbing the door handle and opening it up. Still gonna get the same harder plastics, but you have the same vinyl padded material for the insert and armrest, same storage, and then all the same fabric for these back seats. Now these seats have a pretty good recline angle. You can make them go much higher and much back. And then in the center, we have a nice armrest with cup holders. There's gonna be air vents back here, USB-Cs, and then nice areas for storage behind both of these seats. Now hopping in here at 5'11", honestly, this is a pretty roomy back seat. It's a really good family car. I have a ton of headroom, which is fantastic. Driver's seat at my height, plenty of legroom and footroom. Armrests are in a great place. Huge windows, so there's a lot of light let in. Genuinely comfortable seat. Car seats fit pretty good back here too. Again, it's not a giant vehicle, but definitely family friendly for even grown-ups in the back. Take a look at the cargo space now. We can just grab the button right back here. It's gonna automatically pop open the whole lift gate. Now, even with the full plug-in hybrid, we still have a really nice storage area. There's gonna be a privacy cover. You can easily pop down if you don't need it. And we can grab these seats from back here to get them to fold nice and flat. Now, with the plug-in hybrid, there's still gonna be space underneath the floor with a spare tire, which is impressive. You have storage over here. You have your lighting, plug as well. So certainly a practical SUV with all the systems. We have grab handles up here and your button, and we can very easily close everything down. All right, so setting off now in the RAV4 plug-in hybrid. So unfortunately, the battery is too low to go into the pure electric mode or anything. However, with the 8 miles of range, we still have enough juice to still experience all the power and everything like that. So we'll go right into sport mode, and with the all-wheel drive, of course, you'll have a much nicer traction. But yeah, this thing has some power. It gets up and goes a lot better than the standard hybrid version, which is fine for an average car. This is pretty peppy. That plug-in system with the extra power over the standard one really books it. It has that instant power delivery too. So it is a really nice touch to see. Even with a low percentage on the charge, you know, you're still gonna get the benefits like the crazy power, and it's still gonna automatically go into an EV drive mode certain times. Like right now we're coasting, you know, we're in the electric drive mode, slowly accelerating, we're still in EV mode. So it's nice that it's still gonna drive like a standard hybrid even if the battery's low. When you do fully charge it, you're gonna have all that power all the time. Of course, you can just go into EV mode and even do full throttle in electric drive mode. We have driven these pre-production models, and the plug-in system's pretty nice to get the extra power and the crazy MPG. Overall, in the RAV4, I think it's a nice new SUV. They've done a pretty good job styling it, I think it looks really cool. All the tech works pretty well, and being just a more base model, of course, you know, it's a little more on the simple side versus higher trims, but it drives really good. It weighs a little bit more than the standard hybrids, and honestly, you can feel that, but in a good way. It kind of drives a bit more solid than the standard one, which I like the standard one. I think it's a great SUV, but this definitely tackles the road a little bit smoother than the non-plug-in. So the extra weight, I think, kind of helps it just feel a bit more substantial. You have a good view all around. You know, the windows are all really good, easy to see around this car with no complaints. Seat comfort in the SE is pretty good. If you do up it into an XSE model, which is kind of my favorite trim level, it's a little bit more comfortable with the seats, a little bit more padded. You have nicer materials. So each trim level really does offer something different than the next. So this one's a bit utilitarian but sporty, and then you can kind of mix and match with all the trim levels. And with that, it's also pretty quiet in here. I'm not really hearing any wind noise, and road noise is pretty minimal. So again, not bad for a more average price point vehicle. And then in the slow speed, once again, it's gonna automatically drive again like a standard hybrid, where it'll go back and forth between the engine turning on as well as the hybrid system. And with the eCVT, it is basically an electric car with an onboard generator. So it's gonna drive very direct with everything like that. Getting up and going again, you can feel, I mean, you can see that front end lift a little bit. You can feel that torque and the power from the electric system. It really is impressive. It's a nice driving car, and it's got some good power. It's also easy to use the interior and all the tech, and I like how you can monitor a lot of the charging information, the battery and stuff like that. So they've given you a good screen to know what's going on with the plug-in system. All right, so my honest thoughts with the plug-in hybrid Toyota Rav4. So we've driven the full lineup of Rav4s with Toyota corporate, a bunch of pre-production cars. I believe that was last year. So we got to experience the GR, all the plugins with a full charge. You can still get all the power even when the battery is kind of in the zero. So while it's telling me 0% and all that, we still have 9 miles of range in the electric area. So it's not like it's ever gonna actually be zero. It will basically drive like the standard hybrid at this point, to where it's still gonna be charging itself enough and you're still getting that power. Now, if I was back-to-back flooring it, you know, it might deplete a little bit and not give you all the power, but that's not gonna happen. So still right now, man, that's got some power. You just don't expect a Rav4 to put you back in your seat a little bit, but that has some serious power to where that's a toss-up. I mean, the plug-in hybrid, you have to charge it for the most part to get the benefits, which is my only complaint with plug-ins in general. It just adds one more thing to have to do. Again, easy to do, but not everyone really actually ends up even charging their vehicles. So you have to charge it to truly get the benefits, but there are good benefits. You have really good power, crazy efficiency, very good electric range. You know, if you're going to the gym and back, work and back, close things that are less than 20 miles away, you're talking about never using gas. So you're not having to pay the premium really for an electric vehicle, but you have the convenience of having a gas vehicle at the same time. So this plug-in really gives you the best of both worlds if you're looking for a super efficient, nice SUV that doesn't break the bank. 45 grand, not exactly cheap, but it's also very average in today's market, not really something hard to be able to afford. You can get into any of these nicely equipped for less than 50, and at the end of the day, it should be pretty doable if you can budget some money. So it's a very attainable vehicle, and it offers a lot for the money. Man, it's so smooth given the eCVT. There's no gear changes, there's no whiny CVT transmission. It's basically like an electric car, just you might hear the engine rev up more while it's charging itself. So there is no dedicated charge. Like a lot of people asked, you know, if you hold this down, does it put into a charge mode? Nothing does anything. It just goes back to like I just tapped it. So there is no dedicated charge mode, which other vehicles that are plugins have that. And I think that's a pretty good feature. But I'm up to 10 miles of range. We started this around 7, so it's giving me a little bit of charge, but not necessarily going to truly charge it up. You're gonna have to plug this car in to really get the benefits. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you want a plug-in hybrid, this is a great option to go with. I feel like it really offers a lot. And the Rav4 in general, it's a pretty nice car to drive. I do maybe feel slightly tall for it. I don't think I can get this seat in the perfect position. I want to say there's more adjustments and more range in the XSE models. So depending on the trim level you go with, you know, the nicer ones are going to be a little bit nicer. You know, with this, I don't mind the small screen. The big screen is on the other trims and higher ones. It's pretty much the exact same screen, just bigger. So this one, no complaints. Interior wise, you'll get nicer materials and nicer trims, you know, nicer seats, ventilated options, things like that. But Toyota really has given you a whole spectrum of the new RAV4, ranging from cheap and on a budget to $50-something thousand top trim levels. So there really is a RAV4 for anyone, and I like how this one, kind of more average price point with a plug-in, and it's a sporty style. Aside from the cloth, which really I don't mind that much, you know, it's a nice way to go. And when you drive this, comparing it to the standard one, yeah, the powers were nice. It's not as noisy, like the engine doesn't really bother me. The standard one, you can kind of hear the engine a little bit more. So the plug-in almost feels a bit more refined than the standard one due to that a little bit smoother ride, given it weighs more, and the quieter engine, given it just has more electric assist. So cool way to go. I'm enjoying checking out the plug-in. Hopefully we can get a press car where I can really drive it all week long with a full charge and everything. But even on a low battery, you're getting all the benefits, and I think a lot of people are really gonna like what this plug-in has to offer. But that is it then for the all-new plug-in hybrid version of the all-new Toyota RAV4. Seriously, this is a vehicle that's gonna fit a lot of people's taste and be kind of the perfect family daily driver, anything daily driver. This really has a lot to offer. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content to come. Big shout out once again to Flow Toyota of Statesville for providing this plug-in hybrid all-new RAV4 for today's video. Share their website link below, and I'll see you all in the next video.